Prochazka, what an unusual last name, but actually in Czechoslovakia it means to wander, and is the 7th most popular surname in the country. It probably is the Czech equivalent to Jones and Smith of the United States. Having to learn to say Shelley Prochazka proved to be very difficult for me as a toddler, to say the least. When asked my name, I would proudly tell them it was Zenikaza. Shelley Prochazka, Zenikaza? Yeah, I think it was a darn good attempt for a toddler. Can you imagine learning to spell Prochazka as a first grader? Joseph Prochazka, my great-grandfather, was born in Prague, Czechoslovakia on March 19, 1873. I do not know how long he lived in Prague, but Joseph did serve in the Austrian army under the Conscription Act. Joseph married Marie, who also grew up in Prague, and had Prochazka as her maiden name. I do not have an exact birth date for Marie, just that it was in 1876. Eventually, Joseph and Marie formed a small settlement in the Czechoslovakian province of Moravia. Their home consisted of living quarters, a grain bin, an equipment shed, and a stable, all under one roof, and was surrounded by a yard. While living in the Moravian province, Joseph and Marie had 3 sons: Joseph, Thomas, my grandfather, and Frank. A fire damaged their living quarters, so they took a chance and made their way to the United States. The Moravian family of 5 arrived in Hemingford, Nebraska in 1905. They found a number of fellow countrymen in the area who spoke their language. Joseph and Marie purchased a farm northeast of Hemingford known as the Foskett Place. This hilly land was suitable for raising stock with some marginal farming. It was a beautiful farm with a meadow and a creek running through it. The farmstead consisted of a sod house, a log house, barn, well, and sheds. 3 more boys were born after the move to America: John, Emil, and Leslie. All 6 Prochazka boys attended rural school, riding ponies or driving a horse and buggy, with lunch pails full of bread and jelly sandwiches, apples, and homemade cookies. Tom met Blanche Eustahal and were married on April 14, 1931. Blanche, my grandma, was born March 28, 1911 in Lidwind, Nebraska, to a family of 11. Her family moved to Hemingford when she was 17. Grandpa Tom always seemed larger than life in my memory. He always had on his blue and white striped key overalls with the pouch of Redmond chewing tobacco sticking out from the front pocket. Every time he saw me and my brother, he referred to us as monkey shines. Grandpa Tom always had a silver dollar in his pocket for me and my brother. Grandma Blanche had a love for the Czech favorite of polka music. When visiting the farm, I would always laugh when she would play the polka song, "I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me." Her fresh-baked prune kolaches were an amazing treat. I also remember collecting eggs with her from the mean chickens and then candling them. Both Grandma and Grandpa spoke Czech to each other, but spoke English to everyone else. Dad says he can understand some of the Czech words, but cannot converse with anyone in them. One afternoon, Grandpa came in from doing chores and told Grandma he was tired and was going to take a nap. On the afternoon of December 8, 1977, he passed away peacefully while taking his nap. Grandma Blanche moved to Hemingford, where she lived until her passing in 1995 on July 4th. There is a little of the history of one of the branches of the Prochazka family tree. I sure wished I knew more about my Moravian heritage. My dad lives in Alliance, Nebraska, where he is married to his new wife Liz, and he seems very content there. I have so many cousins which live in the area my great-grandparents settled over 100 years ago. Others have moved all over the country. It is sad that in the time span of 5 generations, the Czech way of life has all but disappeared from my family. The beautiful land of Czechoslovakia, full of history, castles, mountains, rich food, wonderful ethnic music, and of course the ever-popular beer, may not be in my everyday life, but it is a part of who I am.